What is up, our fans? I'm Tommy from Z&D Comics, and welcome to my review of Season 3, Episode 11, Midnight City. This is our Season 3, and I'm going to go review this episode. Yes, I'll be jumping into spoilers immediately. If you haven't seen the episode, come back to this part of my review after you watch it. So I wrote down a few topics I want to list that happened in this episode. The first one, of course, is Roy Harper in the spotlight, down to the bone, man. I'm telling you, Roy Harper is getting better and better at not just being Red Arrow, which, by the way, was name dropped, but the actor is just, he's getting so much better now. There was this one scene with him and Malcolm Merlyn, and I gotta say, it was some great acting. You know, Roy Harper's like, I gotta tell you, man, you cannot mess with Thea. You get out of here. And then, Malcolm Merlyn's like, this is a family matter. Get the out of here, man. I'm Malcolm Merlyn. You can't mess with me. You're just that Green Arrow's little bitch. But anyway, Roy Harper being in the spotlight has got to be one of the best moments of this series so far. I mean, he's really has stepped up. Like, he talks Sarah down. He's like, Sarah, I'm better than you. I mean, like, this is just me saying this. He obviously was not really showing these emotions, but he's like, you know what? I'm better than you. You can't stay on the streets. Just because you're all, like, pissed off your sister died doesn't mean you can just, like, jump on. But anyway, by the end of the episode, we get to see the two teaming up, and it was pretty awesome to see Black Canary and Roy Harper together. I mean, it was badass. Felicity finally comes to terms with her decision, and she says, you know what? We're not fighting for who died. We're fighting for who is still living. And by the end of the episode, she actually ends up helping, of course, Ray Palmer. He's going to get his Atom suit going now that he can get some lasers and stuff. He was talking about that. He's like, they're not lasers. They're just, well, they're lasers, And anyway, she's all down to earth and everything. She's like, okay, you know what we're going to do? Roy Harper, Black Canary, I'm going to help you now. And they try to take down, yep, you know it, Brickwell. He ended up capturing a few police officers, or I think it was some official, and he's like, you know what, I want the Glades or I kill these two people. And Black Canary, and she tried to go in, she tried to save the day, but she kind of sucks. She needs a lot of training. She definitely should still get training from, like, I guess Ted Cord. I don't really care, but she needs some training because she sucks. I mean, it was pretty bad and brutal to watch her try to take down Brickwell because he just got the crap beat out of him. And that brings me to, yep, my next topic, and that is Brickwell is not a metahuman. That is confirmed. So you've probably seen so far in this episode and in the previous episode, he could take a few punches. Not only a few punches, but an arrow to the heart, a bullet to the head, and a lot of other casualties. Now, what makes me think about this, if he's not a metahuman, there's got to be a drug involved, and I don't know if they're going to bring back the Maracую, but it seems like they are, so I guess that's what he's been taking. Maybe they'll find something else. I just wish they brought, like, the metahuman aspect in there, but either way, he obviously has some regeneration ability because he took an arrow to the heart, a few punches without even, like, blinking, and he took a bullet to the head, if I'm not mistaken, by Diggle in the last episode, which was episode 10, Left Behind. Back onto the Black Canary concept, let me say that Black Canary is 100% alive. She is going to trial and error hardcore in this episode. She was failing. She was contemplating if she should stay. She's like, you know what? By the end of the episode, she's Black Canary. She's fighting for her sister, and she is on the go. And I gotta say, that's probably the best choice for her. I mean, I know her sister's dead, but like I said, with Felicity learning everything like this, you're fighting for who's alive and not for who died. So that was pretty much the episode. Now, the last thing I want to say is that kind of tidbit of information we get at the end of every episode that's like a cliffhanger. We get it pretty much, we got in every Flash episode, we got something with Dr. Wells, and in every Arrow episode, there's just something at the end that happens. And in this episode, we find out that Chase, who is working with Thea at the nightclub, is actually a spy for Maceo. And Maceo was talking to Chase over the phone like, okay, Chase is like, you know what? They're not leaving. Malcolm Merlyn's staying, and so is Thea. Maceo's like, okay, I'll tell Ra's al Ghul. So Ra's al Ghul is now going to go to Starling City to get, yep, you know it, Malcolm Merlyn and Thea, and eventually he's going to find out that Oliver is still alive. Now, I know I talked about this last episode, but yeah, it's pretty freaking disappointing to see that he just came back to life, and that's it. I mean, it's like, didn't even talk about how awesome it was. They're just like, yep, he's alive now. It was really just disappointing, but I don't want to talk about that. I talked about it last episode, and this is going to get me sad. Let's give this episode a rate. I give it an 8 out of 10. I want yours in the comment section down below. Put 8, that little slash, and 10. Don't put 8 though. I want to know what you thought of this episode. Give it a scale from 1 to 10 and post it right now in the comment section down below. After you do that, I have a question for you. This is a new thing I'm going to do on all my videos. So the question for today is, will Roy Harper lose his arm by the end of Season 3? So if you didn't know, Roy Harper in the comics ends up losing his arm. He gets a mechanical arm back. If you watched Young Justice, the cartoon, you know that he got an arm back from Lex Luthor. Long story short, he comes back as Arsenal, has a mechanical arm, which is probably going to happen sometime in this series. And I'm wondering, do you think that Roy Harper could lose his arm in this season? I think it's going to happen by the end of the season. I really do, and it's going to make a great, awesome character for Season 4. I mean, if he has that mechanical arm, he is going to be a hell of a lot powerful. I mean, you can have the mechanical arm that he had in the comics is like a super weapon. It's like Cyborg's arm. Like, it is. It's not just a mechanical arm. It's like a mass destruction weapon, and maybe he'll get it in Season 3 and then use it in Season 4. But that's the question. Will Roy Harper lose his arm in Season 3? Comment down below right now on your answer. Don't forget to review and rate this episode in the comment section down below. If you have any comments or questions about this video or about me, post them down below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're new. My name is Tommy from ZD Comics, and thank you for watching.